Hello everybody, Imminent Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we got the KSS Ballista on its way to Eve with its complex mission package. So that should be interesting to see how that's all going to work, if that's all going to work. Well, you never know. And then I tinkered around a little bit with some new engine drive technology using fusion, and they didn't quite work how I thought it would, and I had kind of planned to, look into it and figure it out in between episodes, but I've changed my mind a little bit on that, and I'll discuss what's going on with that in a moment. So, meanwhile, what I have done is advance time a little bit. I've gotten the Arbalest here, which is what we are currently looking at. This is the Arbalest, which is out on its way home from the mission to Joule still. And we're about 20 days out from the maneuver that we need to perform. 1,800 meters per second maneuver. It's going to take 10 minutes to run through it, so we'll get that done here in a moment. And I've been just transmitting science back home, and yeah, so far so good. I apologize if I don't sound so great right now. My nose is pretty stuffed up and I got a bit of a headache, so I'm gonna try and push through this as best I can, because I already delayed this episode, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk a little bit about what the plans for the whole series are going to be. But what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and tell this thing to execute the next node, because I want to get this maneuver done. And we already should be oriented properly, so it's just a matter of getting to the node and then performing the actual maneuver itself. Alright, so, if you've been watching this series as I've been posting it, or coming at this in the future, then it might not make sense, but I did have to delay this episode due to some technical problems that I've been having. And those are that the save has started becoming increasingly unstable, with things crashing out on me. And I had having a problem where attempting to load the moon station, so the Kerbal 1, refueling station around the moon, basically not only crashes the game, it actually crashes my entire computer. I have to restart the whole machine. So, yeah. So my thinking is that we have stretched this game as far as we possibly can. And I think it's probably about time that we wrapped things up. So, what the plan is going to be is get this crew home from Joule, which is what we're working on right now. Also, get through the entire Eve mission that I have been planning for several episodes now. Because that should be interesting. I'm hoping, with the propeller-driven plane and all the other kind of things that I want to try out. So, yeah, we're going to run through that whole mission, try and get that crew back home, and then we'll probably call that our final mission. Maybe I'll try one more thing after that, but I think that's probably going to do it. And the thing is, I had originally just planned to run this series for a little bit while I waited for Kerbal Space Program 2 to release, and then I was going to do like a Kerbal Space Program 2 series, which is still the plan. The thing is that, as happens, it got delayed, and I have no idea when it may or may not be coming out. And, I had really only intended to, run this series for maybe 30 or 40 episodes, and now we're well over 60 episodes. So, yeah, this has gone on far longer than I had anticipated, and it's just, having stability issues and all kinds of other things would stretch this thing as far as it can go. And I'm hoping that KSP 2 is going to be a bit more stable than this one is, especially with lots of mods installed. I'm, kind of hoping that that's the case. So that's my current thinking right now, is just finish these couple of ongoing missions and then maybe do one kind of final effort, and then go ahead and wrap things up here. So there's still a few more episodes left, obviously, because it's going to take me a little bit to get all that done. But that is what the plan is going to be. Alright, so we've got another 8 minutes left of this particular maneuver, so I'm going to go ahead and do my typical pause here while I let this run, and then I'll be back once it's complete, and we can check and make sure that the trajectories all are nominal, and that we are heading where we want to go, and then we'll move on over to the ballista and start working that towards where it needs to be, and yeah, get these missions going. Alright, be back in a second. Alright, maneuver is just about done. 25 seconds, give or take. Take a look at how the trajectories work out. Make sure that's where we want to be. Our electric charge is kind of low. That's because we're not getting a lot off of the solar panels. But it'll be enough to finish. Alright, there we are. Let's see where we are at. It looks like we have an encounter. Alright, good. Let's focus on Kerbin. Oh, that looks nice. Coming in on a polar orbit, but that's fine. Altitude is good. We should be real good to do that capture burn. Alright. And hopefully it won't take more than 3,000 meters per second to do that capture. So let's just see what we're looking at here. Well, we'll capture there. Let's see, if we were to fully circularize, we're looking at how much? 1915. That will work. That will work. Now, core life is at 3 years. Our maneuver is in 2 years and 59 days. All right, good. Very good. That is what we want. So, actually, we should have some science here that we can transmit. All right, that is done. Now, I'm going to head over to the ballista. Which two? Its maneuver is still a ways out. $265 days. Alright, what I think we're going to do is we're going to warp in 50-day chunks. Alright, let's see. 55 days. Sure, warp there. There's all kinds of... Yeah, I have that other, vehicle that I need to take a look at. Alright, transmit the science. Let's just transmit this stuff back. So I am actually going to want it, I think. And then let's grab Arbalest. Alright, that's done. We still have data we can transfer into the lab here. We'll find something that will... There, that'll fit. Alright. Keep that churning away. Alright, now I'm actually going to head back to the Space Center. Okay, the nuclear pulse test bed was what I was looking at. As a maneuver in 321 days. Our maneuvers in 209 days. Okay. Nuclear pulse testbed. That's the one that went out to Dres, right? Do a couple more 50-day jumps. Let's see. 78 days is a bit too long. Oh, I guess that's where we're going. It'll be fine. I think all the data that can be transferred into the lab on this vehicle has been. All right, let's get that transmitted. Done. Swap back over here. As this thing gets closer and closer to the sun, we'll be able to shut those reactors down. And run entirely off solar power. What are we seeing here? Energy flows at 0? Well, we'll see. All right, then. 50 more days. Yeah, you don't get very far in 50 days this far out. Alright, let's see. Can we push any more data into the lab? That guy can go. That guy can go. Alright. Basically, just keep on switching back and forth between these two. I want to make sure I'm not wasting time in these labs. Transmitting the science as soon as they're full. Or close to it, anyway. Alright, there we go. It only has about 900 data left to chew through. And we are 91 days, so I think 2 more warps is what we'll get here. 25 days, 44 days, 51. There's Eve right there. Alright. Transmit. Alright, you have stuff to transmit as well. Alright, there we go. Let's just keep reviewing the data. You can go in. Gotta stay under 1500. Alright, now we should be ready to do the ballistas maneuver. And the next vehicle that actually has a maneuver after this one is going to be that nuclear pulse probe. All right, let's start orienting for our maneuver node. Get that planner up, because we're going to want that to actually run the maneuver. How are my reactors looking? Would I want to run them for 40 days? I might warp until maybe a few days out, and then fire the reactors up. I'm really hoping that thing is going to survive re-entry. That's my biggest worry. Do I want to fire up the RCS? No, we'll be fine without the RCS. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get that warping done. It's what? 39 days? So probably we want to do 30 days of warping. Right out to about here. Yeah, warp there. And we should have our encounter there. And this is taking us time. Three days. Let's get that down to inside of 1 day. All right, 5 hours. Finish orienting toward the node, and then run the maneuver. right. Transmission's done. And we'll go ahead and fire up those reactors. Yeah, current power 6 megawatts. All right, I think we're oriented, so we'll go ahead and tell it to execute the node. All right, it's going to be an 8-minute long burn. And there we go. All right, so got 8 minutes to wait. So I'll go ahead and pause things here, let this run, and we'll be back when it's almost done. All right, maneuver is just about done. 12 seconds of in-game time, which is actually a lot longer than 12 seconds. So we'll get through this, then we'll see our trajectories, make sure we're where we want to be, set up our next maneuver, and then we'll probably just call it a day there. I realize that I have the actual rendezvous planner out instead of the maneuver planner, but it works. All right. Here we are. It's done. Let's go focus on Eve, and let's make sure that we have an encounter. We do, but it's an impact trajectory. That's interesting. Let's set it there. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Actually, that is gonna put us pretty close. Let's add a maneuver. Want to slow it down. We're not going to need much to capture here. We need a lot more to circularize. That is where the real, 1200 meters per second to circularize, but that's all right. We'll probably want a plane change. As well when we get there. We've got like how much? Like 10,000 meters per second of delta V left. So yeah, we got more than enough to do whatever it is we need to do when we get there. All right. So I think that's probably good for this episode. We'll go ahead and for next episode, we'll run through the maneuver that the nuclear pulse vehicle has to go through, and then we'll see if we can't get ourselves to this maneuver. It's only 110 days. That's going to be over a year. Let's just switch over to this. Uh, 112 days. Interesting. All right, yeah. We'll have a couple things to do. All right, but we'll stop here. It's a little bit shorter than I typically do these episodes, but there really isn't a ton to do at the moment. So, we will probably have a lot more to do for next episode, because if we get all the way to Eve, and we do that relatively quickly, we'll have the beginnings or the first steps of the Eve mission to do as well. Landing our lander, getting the aircraft landed, and seeing how all that's going to work. All right. So for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.